sulfate is an inorganic compound, meaning that its composition lacks carbon-hydrogen bonds. It is typically used as a fungicide/herbicide paired with ammonium hydroxide to dissolve cellulose in the industrial production of rayon, and a blue coloring agent in glasses and potteries, as well as fireworks. Iron is a chemical element, meaning that it is unable to be broken down into other substances, and is used in manufacturing steel, which is used on the roads you drive on, the buildings you occupy, the automobiles you drive, the tools you use, and the weapons that help to serve our country. Now, let us go down to the lab and observe the reaction.
Before we begin our reaction, we must always make sure that we perform the experiment while wearing safety goggles, gloves, and an apron. Iron by itself is alright to touch, but copper sulfate is toxic, both in touching and consuming it. Here we have a few setups. Our setup on the left is an iron sheet. With the setup on the right, we have multiple iron fillings. Both will be submerged in copper sulfate in due time. Let us dip the sheet into the copper sulfate and see what comes of it. It doesn't appear any change has occurred while the object is submerged, but when the iron sheet is removed from the substance, it turns a reddish-brown color.
So, what happened in this reaction? Now, first off, we can tell that a chemical reaction has occurred based on the color change of the iron. Its previously silver and shiny color has been replaced with a still shiny, but now reddish-brown color. This is what's called a single replacement, where one element is replaced by another in a compound. In this reaction's case, the copper of copper sulfate switches places with the iron. A more reactive element compared to copper, the iron fuses with the sulfate to create iron sulfate, or ferrous sulfate, while the copper is left as a standalone substance. We are now left with these products. Ferrous sulfate is a type of iron usually found in substances that contain water or hydrates. The compound is used in supplements that treat or otherwise prevent iron deficiency, as well as lowering the pH levels in soil so plants can access its nutrients. And it also helps to give concrete and some limestones and sandstones a rust-like color. Copper is a chemical element. It appears reddish-brown and is able to conduct electricity to your light sources and keep your cozy homes. Balancing the chemical equation is not necessary because it is already balanced and everything is equal on both sides. We found that the reaction between copper sulfate and iron was exothermic, as the products of the reaction had lower energy than the reactants of the reaction, and 25.36 kilojoules per molecule was released from the reaction. As mentioned earlier, the product of ferrous sulfate can be used in iron supplements and lowering pH levels in the soil. It is also by doing this reaction that you can extract the copper from copper sulfate, which can be used in copper wiring and heat exchangers to provide heat and electricity to your home.